Hello and welcome to the TechTrex TMS training session. I'm going to be showing you on how to use TMS to set up your merchant data online and then download it straight to the terminal. TMS stands for Terminal Management System, and basically it allows you to save your terminal IDs, your receipt headers, options such as cashback or surcharge, set it all up online and download it to the terminal. It's a pretty neat tool if you want to save some time. So let's go to the TMS website first, which is https://tms.techtrex.info:8000, and then enter in your user ID and the password. Select login. Now the first thing you'll see is your navigation pane on the left side, and on the right side is your workspace. Now there's a lot of options on the left side, but the most relevant options are Merchant, Terminal, and Download. First thing we want to do is set up a merchant. As you can see, I have a few merchants here listed. Let's add a merchant. Let's call this merchant FGH Convenience. Now the field with the star beside it is mandatory, rest of them are not. For the training purposes, I'm not going to enter in all this information, but it is good practice to do so. Hit add, successful, hit close. Now we can see our FGH convenience has been added to the list. Now we want to send a terminal for this merchant, so click terminal, hit add terminal. Now in the serial number, I'm just going to put FGH convenience, and I'm going to explain later why I'm doing it like this. Now, terminal ID, let's give them a PS 500. ID code and MAC address can be retrieved from the app manager if you go to hardware test and then click about. Here merchant, let us select our FGH convenience. Memo, you can put in any notes you want. Click add. Got our new terminal set up. Okay, so we can see our FGH convenience with our terminal ID and the merchant. Next and last step is to actually set up the download file, which we will be downloading into the terminal. Click download. You can see here I have already set up a few download files. Let's create a new one. Click next. Now profile. This is an important step where the profile must match the application that we're going to be downloading to the terminal. So for example, if I am downloading Everlink Elevon application to the terminal, I must set up the download file with a profile of Everlink Elevon. Let's put in the terminal ID. Terminal ID and serial number must match as to what we put into the terminal management when we actually created the terminal. And we put in FGH convenience as the serial number, just like before. We hit next. Dial number, you can select either of the two. And expire time I will also explain later. Hit next. Now you can see a list of parameters and the values. There's quite a lot in here. First thing what we have to do is click check all parameters. And let's go ahead and give our terminal ID. Okay. The parameters which are checkmarked are going to be the ones that will actually be downloaded to the terminal. Anything that is uncheckmarked or not checkmarked will not be downloaded. Debit terminal ID PS 500. And as you can see, anytime I make a change in the parameter value column, they will turn red. This is just to indicate that these values have been modified. Receipt header, let's put in convenience. And let's give them a phone number Okay, once we're finished setting up the merchant data, just go down and hit finish. Now you can see our latest download file that we made for FGH convenience is the most recent one here, 20994. Now you can see here, this is the reference number that we're actually going to be using to download this file into the terminal. Now you can see expire time here is September 29th. This means that after September 29th, you won't be able to download this file into the terminal or any terminal. To change this, you can hit edit, hit forever. Now this has turned to all zeros. This means there is no expire time. Or you can select your own expire time by saying expire in 14 days or 18 days, whichever you would like. Let's just leave it to no expiry. Now this column, serial number, as you can see that I have put in the merchant store names here instead of an alphanumeric serial number such as PSZS 1209, etc. And the reason why I did this is because if we did that, put in PSZS 1209, it's kind of difficult to tell what this reference number is pointing to or which merchant this reference number has been created for. But if I go to search download and I want to know for, let's say, KLM convenience, how many download files we have for KLM convenience, I can just put in KLM, search KLM, and there we go. It'll pull up all the KLMs, or our most recent serial number FGH, and there you go. It pulls up the download file. Now, if you wanted to go back and change something in the download file, you can just go and hit parameter here and then change whatever you like. But as you notice, this menu is a little different. Now you can see two options here: save as new download or save download. Save download will just overwrite the current file 20994, and save as new download will create a new one altogether. So let's put in a credit merchant number here, 878787. Now I don't want to overwrite this file. I want to make a totally new file for this merchant. So I'll hit save as new download. And now you can see I have two FGH conveniences. This is the old one, and this is the new one we made. And just to make sure, if I go to this one, you can see that 878787 is present. So this pretty much concludes the TMS side of things. The next step would be to actually download these reference numbers into the terminal. One more thing, if you want to change the profile, if you got the wrong profile listed here, instead you wanted Everlink instead of Everlink Elavon app, you could just hit edit and then change the profile and then hit OK. And now you'd be basically resetting up the parameter number with a new profile. You'll have to enter in all the information again because it's a totally different profile. Once you're done, just hit finish, and you can see the 20995 has actually changed profiles. Now let's move on to downloading straight to the terminal.